Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Normand series here on the Lord Master channel, in which, despite the name of the series, we're still not quite the way to Normandy yet in order to have this series be called that, as we're still focused on leader Hrolfr of the Walkers of the North camp, in which we are currently in the barony of Ochayoka or Ohioka. I mean, I'm not sure how you pronounce it in the Northern Sami language. But this is one of the three northernmost counties in the game, as far as, location is concerned. Like, there's Karashioka over there. And then here's us. So based on its circle, is highlighted there, I think we are the northernmost. Unless you want to count Iceland over there. There's that circle where we are. Yeah, northernmost county on the map. But mind you, I'm also using a mod where I get rid of most of Asia and sub-Saharan Africa, so we could be more, European centric. So it's a bit relevant for the Normandy series. So I don't need to know like what else is going on in other parts of the world that isn't relevant to the series at hand. So let's return back to Sami country where winter is setting in already. But I would like to go visit that barony before I will go do that artifact delivery, whatever it may be. Just this once, simply for getting more prestige, which no doubt I'll be using that. Put it to good use. Face the worst! And provisions won't cost us much. It'll take us a month to get there. Whatever danger it may bring, I'm ready for it. Let's move out. It comes without warning. One moment the sky is grey but calm, the next the world dissolves to screaming white chaos. The blizzard hits with the force of a physical blow, driving snow horizontally into your face, stealing the breath from your lungs, reducing visibly to nothing. The air vanishes into the white feet away. I can hear the voices calling but cannot determine their direction. The cold penetrates everything. Furs, wool, skin, with murderous efficiency. Already your fingers are going numb. Your face is burning with frostbite. Your guide shouted something before the wind swallowed their words. Dig it into the snow perhaps? Find shelter? The only certainty is that staying still means death. The wind itself seems to carry malice, driving ice crystals like tiny knives into every exposed inch of skin. Oh dear. Vemunda, carry the weakest. I'll leave 95% chance success, 5% chance failure. Strength prevails. Vemunda, my bodyguard and second in champion, hoists a stronger companion over their shoulder while I break through the killing snow. The effort is superhuman, but I find a shelter to read before anyone succumbs. Their party owes their lives to brute determination. You see what we have to deal with in the Great White North? We had a visit here because we could go visit that tribal holding. Mind hearing a story? And then, when she realized it was her own brother, Hrolfr, whom he had seduced her, she fell off the cliff and into the life beyond. That's a story for another time. Just wanted to spend my money to increase my wit a bit more. Oh my, who is that? I'm intently observing the vixen herself down at the nearby table. The dwelling owner calls her, Dolia. Dolia, Dini. She looks puzzled as I approach her, also because my internal turmoil is clear as day on my face. Why would this bother me? I'm leader Hrolfr of the Walkers of the North, damn it! I keep reminding myself to reach conversations in order to remain calm. I'm mostly, failing. She's a witch, Norse physician, and a dwarf. But wise. Arrogant, craven. I don't know Craven is sinful to her religion. They do value bravery, above all. Even though they're not a warlike people. Keep that one in mind. Most of it is accepted. Except witchcraft. I mean, to modern standards, the Sami native faith is a very progressive one, but around here, to us Norse, I find them strange and quirky. Aside from stealing hearts, what else do you do? When I leave her company, resumes chatting to a couple of friendly tribespeople as I march back in the middle of the tent, so... try to recruit her, but I'm not spending any more money on that. Oh boy. 50-50. Success! Just need those provisions for the road. I mean, I've been getting at diplomacy these days. Maybe I could take a swing at some diplomatic dealings. Even though I'm no good at these things. If there are any. There don't appear to be any. Alright, fair enough. But keep in mind, for the alignment, you may want to up on the nobles. So, even though we've been doing a lot of criminal activity with alignment, switch to seek to please the local nobility. For the next 5 years, I'll elevate the nobility to secure their loyalty, grant privileges to influential lords and ladies, chiefs and chieftesses around. Also, I would like to go down to Finland and Karelia. I haven't spent too much time on it, that one trip around. And after I feel like I've spent enough time down there, I'm going to go to the sea and swing around and go to Norway. All the dead parts of Norway. Just go all around it before we take it to the sea and go island hopping to Iceland. Before we go to Britannia. That's my plan. You want me to deliver a special rock, just like the last time. Go ahead. I ain't scared. Brooke! I ain't scared. I'm just gonna deliver this rock and back. It's snowbound. Still stuck in the snow. Crud. Who knows what else I could be dealing with out there. Across the lake. Hey up. We're gonna need that to upgrade this camp, the pavilion. Gives me another building slot, more provisions, and safer travels. Though this will take about 2 years done because of the recent power struggles, which I aim to fix that. The Kimi River narrows ahead, funneling between the granite walls of the thundery chaos of white water. The rapids stretch for what seems like miles. Massive boulders churning current to foam. A roar so loud you must shout to be heard. Your boat, master, that's loud, studies the rapids with a furrowed brow. The portage around would take days, dragging the boats through dense forest, but running the rapids is genuinely dangerous. Rocks that can shatter hulls, currents that can flip a boat in an instant, and water cold enough to kill in minutes. It can be done, he says, finally, but I'll need everyone working together. One mistake and the river will take us all. The choice is yours. Days of back-breaking portage, or minutes of mortal danger. The motor, hold the bow steady, no matter what. Steady hands. He plants himself at the bow, using sheer strength to fend off rocks and steady the boat through the worst of the rapids. Muscles strained to breaking, but your companion holds firm. Rapids are conquered through brute force. Ah, my head, moans him as he rides along with me. I raise an eyebrow and sign accord at the man's exclamation. In response, Notor simply slumps down across his horse, whimpering and clutching at his temples. Clearly, someone had a good night last night. Kick his horse and I into gear, just to make every adult laugh, make every adult follower seem amused. Make amends, you two. See, you're getting better at this sort of thing. I believe we have enough provisions to get down to Finland. I want you to head to Salo. I want to keep traveling through this perilous winter, because I want everybody to be tested. Move out, and then I'll do no more of that. Morning brings a report that a man-eating beast has struck again. Another life vanished without a trace, save the slight drag marks and a few flecks of blood where the nimble creature disabled its prey. The sentries can't get a look at the damn thing, whatever it is. It's got a taste for us. It seems smart enough to follow after us during the day or early evenings. I cast my eyes to the blanket of trees stretching out in every direction, too dense to see more than 100 foot past the camp's perimeter, providing plenty of room for the terror to hide, watching, waiting, hunger slowly building for its evening meal. I shall take its head. I pursue the beast personally, risk a potential death in exchange for prestige. Depending on what it is and how large it actually is, it may be fairly easy or very, very hard. You cannot back down once you set out. I've dealt with bears, boars, everything. Show me. We can't afford to wait another night to outrun the thing. Gathering my hunting party, I tend to do so this very morning. The beast's tracks are soft and difficult to follow, but unmistakably canine. After an hour, we reach a broad forest grove where the footprints seem to simply vanish. A fierce growling to our rear prompts me to wheel around, where I'm confronted by a sizable wolf. Eyes aflame with feral hunger, teeth snapping, thick gobs of saliva flying from its maw. The creature, its trap spun, breaks into sprint. No glue, loose, loose, because you're the huntsman. You're the best around. Straight through the eye. You got it. We're still no good porters. I guess some around here aren't particularly good at it, but one day we will find someone with high stewardship or martial with good stewardship, or the other way around. That we can hope that we'll find someone. who's good at that craft. The forest clearing appears suddenly, as if the trees themselves have stepped back to make room. In the center, a figure carved from a single great pine, taller than a man, weathered by countless winters, its features worn but still discernible. A stern face, outstretched arms, symbol carved to its torso. Your Sami guide, Gaktu, immediately drops to one knee and begins a quiet chant. This is one of the old gods of the forest, he explains. Perhaps Horgalas, the thunder god, or Libelon, the older man who guards of all creatures. Offerings of fat and blood are smeared on its face. Ragnar eyes the otter with a mixture of fascination and unease. Karig's eye seems to follow you as you move, though sure it's merely a trick of light through the branches. Pay respects to the guide in foreign lands. Honor local ways. I kneel beside him and bow my head respectfully. I may not share the beliefs, but understand the power of sacred places. The guide rises with tears of gratitude in his eyes, and the bond is strengthened. Brook! Too much criminal activity. That's why we're leaving. Winter's leaving. None in my camp are intimately familiar with the terrain in Ioki. And such lands are not to be traveled with, for it is the reason I find myself standing in front of the local guide, bartering for services to be rendered. It's no joke out there, she offers, drawing her to the gritted teeth, theatrically worried gesture. You'll need either these maps or my services, and I can tell you that for free. She is right. There's something about her demeanor that makes me hesitate. How much did you say these maps were? I'm willing to spend it all and go into depth slightly. The temperature drops with a terrifying suddenness as the sun sets. What was merely cold becomes something else entirely. A murderous bone, deep chill that seeps through every layer of protection. The breath crystallizes instantly, falling as ice dust. The barrier receives the burning lungs. Geda stumbles, face pale, turning blue. Look at your own hands and see the white patches spreading across your fingers. First signs of frostbite. The Sami called this kind of cold Marasimua, a killing cold. The cold that takes the weak and unwary. Your guide estimates the temperature has fallen to levels that could kill in hours without shelter. Every moment is spent brings you closer to death. But pushing forward in the dark brings its own risk, and you don't know how far the safety lies. Oh, Ferdinand, how we start a fire, our lives depend on it. Together, we battle frozen fingers and howling wind to coax a spark into flame. The fire grows. Push it back to killing cold. Feed it through the night, clinging to its warmth like a prayer. It saves lives. There's your little bit of martial experience. Still no new contracts popping up further south. Found the correct path. We keep on moving. Oh look, there's one. Winter trail across the frozen Finnish lakes is usually the fastest route. The ice forms roads smoother than any built by human hands. But today the ice has betrayed you. A sudden groan across the lake's surface, and cracks spiderweb outward where it stands. Nobody move! I shout, but it's too late. The ice gives way with a sound of breaking bones, Oh, it plunges into the black water below. The cold will kill it in minutes. I can see the ants crawling at the ice edge, desperately trying to find crevices on the slippery surface. The current beneath pulls at my companion, trying to drag him under the ice sheet where no rescue is possible. Everyone is frozen with horror, except you. You must act now. Around the hole, the ice cracks ominously. Any rescued risks joining the victim in the freezing depths. I'm a brave man, I'll say. I'll plunge in and push them out from below. 100% frozen heroism. I dive into the killing cold without hesitation. The shock nearly stops my heart, but fury keeps me moving. I find them and shove upward of all my strength. Both emerge, gasping, victorious over the lake that tried to kill you. You're into wetland country now. Be careful. Can't we find any good porters these days? Also check the detailed maps. Right, we're here. Ah, good. 2 escort emissaries. We'll work for food. Take that off. Put this on. The bundle of maps show the lay of the land in great detail across much of Norway, particularly useful when navigating tricky and treacherous terrain. Provisions up, travel companion opinion goes up, faster travel speed and higher travel safety. Got any spare? Got some. No new work for now. We'll work for money. We're escorting emissaries, so. Yeah, tone that down on that. Let's go with cautious. Let everyone know make the journey faster. We just want faster travels. The smoke rises lazily from a small wooden hut by the lake shore as our party approaches a remote Finnish homestead. A weathered peasant, Valta, emerges from the steam-filled structure, skin flushed red from the heat. Upon seeing your entourage, he bows respectfully and gestures towards the sauna. The sauna is ready, noble traveler, he says. But first you must leave something for the Sonoto. The Sonotontu, the spirit who guards this place. Without offering, the steam will scald, the benches will splinter, and misfortune will follow. Valta produces a small wooden bowl containing a morsel of bread and a splash of ale. The locals believe that every sauna has its own guardian spirit, a small creature that demands respect and rewards to those who show it. Whether superstition or ancient wisdom, the ritual seems deeply important to your host. I'd probably handle this local custom. He approaches the ritual with scholarly curiosity, asking questions about each element. Lotta is delighted to explain it soon, both chatting like old friends. Your companion emerges from the sauna having learned much about Finnish cultures. Sami does sauna stuff too. We know that we must tread carefully through the bogs of Sopasari. This eerie place unsettles me to my core, and there's a myriad of dangers that guard against. Quiet. I'm just telling my phone that. My entourage has been instructed to take every precaution accordingly. Looking back when I head of the column, I take count of the mind of my commands. One of us is missing. Halfdan, my stooge. Send our caravan striker to find the straggler. At least try to save him. No. Lost my stooge. This morning, we asked for directions to our next destination from one of the locals passing by on the road here. The locals told us that the route we're about to take is not actually the fastest way through the area, and that there was a shortcut we could take. Thankfully, the local was entirely correct and we understood the directions given to us. We saved a good amount of traveling thanks to the shortcut. Thank goodness we learned about this shortcut. I've heard tell of the military exploits of the legendary Karelian mercenaries. But passing through Sortavala, I'm fortuitous enough to come across a highly skilled mercenary commander. Triva claims that he's the finest Karelian swordsman in the world, and would be honored to serve for the right price. Oh, and I don't have much in the way of money, but I'm sure we can negotiate this. Alright, welcome aboard. There you go. Excellent amount of money. Deep in the Finnish wilderness, where the birch trees grow thin and the mossy ground scorches underfoot, their party comes upon an enormous boulder. The stone rises from the earth like a sleepy giant's fist. Its grey surface weathered by countless winters. What catches my attention are the offerings arranged at its base. Small wooden carvings, strips of cloth tied to nearby branches, and the remains of food offerings. The approach is costly. A spirit stone. The Finns believe powerful spirits dwell in such places. Rustling in the undergrowth announces the arrival of an elderly woman, Kalevi, who emerges from the forest with a basket of mushrooms. She eyes my party warily at first, then she relaxes as you're not disturbed on the offerings. You stand before the old one, she says simply. Many come here to ask a blessing. Safe travels, healthy children, and good harvest. The stone there is also respect. I'll leave an offering and ask for safe passage. The stone accepts. Place a token at the base of the stone. It speaks. I wish loudly. Clearly instructs. The wind stirs the cloth offerings, and for a moment the forest seemed to hold its breath, whether a divine blessing or mere coincidence. The heart feels lighter as I continue the journey. Oh, not again. I just lost my mercenary that I just hired. Something tells me that we should not be here. For 1 second. Gotcha. More food. Nothing here. Tell me a story. And then Finn, in its rage, turned to stone. Streams of destruction were never realized, and so the cathedral still stands, to this day. Gonna get it at 100% now. Gotcha. God, get me out of here. Wonder perk. Now you get private army. What do I have? Noble sponsorship of hunts. Organized grand hunts sponsored by noble families, showcasing their wealth and status. The outlaws, relying on force for survival, were enraged, as these hunts further restrict their ability to remain hidden and forage for supplies. Ah, you make a good stooge. Since we lost one. He's Elmanian. East Slavic heritage. I'm willing to pay you money, not much in the way of provisions. About to get my monetary reward anyhow. The Uskuniks. My journey along the river to come to an abrupt halt when a boat slides out from concealed inlet, blocking my path. More vessels emerge from the reeds. Swift, shallow-drifted craft crewed by hard-eyed men with axes and bows at the ready. Uskuniks, hisses Valente. Heard of these river pirates from Novgorod, bands of freedmen and outlaws who raid along the waterways, owing their allegiance to no lord. Their leader, a bear of a man with a braided beard, calls across the water. Travelers, you may pass for a price. Have your goods, and you keep your lives. Refuse, and we take everything, including your lives. This man laughed, weapons glittering in the pale northern sun. I'll duel your champion. If I win, we pass freely. 100% success. Champion's trump. The scarred warrior steps forward, axe ready. The duel's fierce but brief. My blade finds its mark, and the pirate yields. Mitre honors the bargain, and you pass a newfound respect. Ditch. Last chance. Right, head down to Kakesame. Get me out of this wetland hell. But now you get a private army. Slightly better safety. You're a hunter. What's going on? Good. I know I've been swaying that man for long, but I really want that man to be my friend. As he's gonna become just a physician rather than a novice physician. He's getting there. But first... cannot request until... past the time a little. Wait till it's October. We've been staying at the Karelians Kakesame for a while now. Locals have been frequently visiting our camp to trade or to simply hang around. Since recently I saw a man lingering around longer than the rest. There have been lean years and fat years here in Kakesame, and I reckon the lean years are coming back. I do not wish to die where I was born, to stay here anymore. Allow me to join your band, my lord. Hey, come on in. I think you might finally be the man I'm looking for. Hey, Pate. This is a lesson in moderation of all things. I think we finally found our man. He can't be the head porter, but he can most certainly be our paid master. Stewardship up, and we get a bit of tidy income. Again, I'm willing to take anyone that's average. Until the 30th of September of this year. Okay, I'm getting it now. Oh well then, just give me the provisions and then we'll do something. Because last chance, I'm gonna get out of here. You know what, screw it. You know there's already criminal contracts out there. But I'm wondering if, is it to relate to stress? I mean, look, you're already a Galsway, just a bit, but what harm is it where you can get more food than normal? Good citizens of Salvo, be warned that we are experiencing a plague of petty theft. Take a firm club of you when you walk the streets and stay indoors at the dock. The chieftain will deal with these reprobates. It's a prowess scheme, so at least it's something that you're good at. The trading post emerged from the forest like a dream of commerce. Dozens of stalls piled high with furs of every description. Sable, man, beaver, fox, wolf, bear. The wealth of the northern forests are gathered in one place. Merchants from Novgorod haggle with Karelian trappers, while Swedish traders eye the competition suspiciously. Andre, the grizzled fur trader, approaches the party with a calculating eye. Outlanders, you have a look of buyers, or perhaps sellers. These furs will fetch 10 times the price of their price in Constantinople repairs. A wise investment for any traveler. The quality is undeniable. A single sable pelt gleams like a liquid darkness, worth more than a peasant earns in a year. But the traders here are sharp, and many outlanders have left poorer than they arrived. Give it a try. Show me your fineness, Sable. I know quality when I see it. 6% chance success, 40% chance fail. A shrewd purchase. I examined the pelts with practiced eye, rejecting inferior goods and haggling furiously. When I leave, I carry the furs far more worth than you paid. A tidy profit waits in southern markets. Prime Karelian sable pelt. Let me have a look at that. Oh, it's a court artifact. A flawless sable fur of exceptional quality. Dark as midnight and soft as silk. Worth a fortune in any southern market. Ah, okay. Whenever you have a royal coin in the far future, keep that around. Well, meanwhile, let's do some criminal activity for once. The notice is that Chieftain Minlus rung hold truer than expected. Salvo seems to be experiencing a barrage of petty crime. Even just making our way into the city, we're able to count a dozen pickpocketings and one outright mugging. Far too much work for the beleaguered householders of the chieftain to deal with. An absolutely perfect environment for enterprising explorers like ourselves to make a little coin. Let's just get on with our task. Excellent. Okay. Catch them and crush them in the skull and get the barrel ready. It's definitely be fast, but it shouldn't have to be loud. Oleg, the new stooge, is the thug. An outcast can be a great insider. After all, who questions why a wretch languishes in the shadows, or how a beggar chooses which window to wait under? But Tova, you're the man to be the outcast. Now for footpad. A purse, a throat, a groin. There's a lot of things that could take a knife in the back. In alley, if you pick a moment right. That wounded the recruiter, you the man. The gambler. There's an art to speak in an hour without saying a thing. Gunnar, the clueless. No wonder why it fits the profile. Now for our lookout. A set of hands to do the dirty work is no good without a pair of eyes to watch them. Lulu, the huntsman, you'll do. Remember, I'm a just character. This kind of goes against our character, but we're only doing this for once because we need more money, and fast. And I'm going to use that money soon. With the evening's work almost done, my agents and I'm all Better to head home a little early. The conversation decided for us by the arrival of a promising-looking mark. I recognize him as Seppo, a local magnate of some small wealth and perfectly suitable quarry, if perhaps not the richest on offer. Though almost imperceptible, I hear the sound of well-oiled daggers being unsheathed around the little alley. Again, this is just... Just this once. Knives out, let's do this quiet but clear. Nope, he ran. Probably we'll just do it the old way. Today I received a report that some of my soldiers accidentally burst into the wrong person's house to make an arrest. It was an awkward situation all around. At least no one was hurt. It wasn't me. I don't have any soldiers in my camp, unless you're referring to my knights being unruly. My champions, I should say. We have to execute this scheme and make a run for it. Thanks, said chieftains in utter inability to enforce order on the streets of his own capital. The walkers of the north were able to shake down the more collective sinners for Saul and everything they got. Not an honorable way to earn a living, perhaps profitable? Extremely. Still, the first list of any aspiring criminals knew when to quit. For a coin made, it's high time we left before the chief gets to when it comes looking for us. So, okay, it does not give me just when you complete the criminal contracts, but perform any other action, that's unjust. So, basically, there is crime you could do on a limited basis. Plus, it reduces my stress because, you know, arrogant and all that. I'm out of here. And we got a contract right here. Not quite done yet. But since we have so much provision, let's use this time to do camp revelry. Hold on. Is the chieftain not available? What you doing? Maybe we should go meet the High Chief. Wait, I guess it's because he's Chancellor, it would make sense to try to make this man a guest of honor. So I'll say, okay, fine then. We'll go to you. Let's just swing around here. In the village clearing, I witnessed the sight that stops in your tracks. Two elderly men sit facing each other on a wooden bench, their hands clasped together, bodies swaying in perfect unison. They sing in a strange, hypnotic style. One voice chanting a line, the other responding, their words weaving together. The sound that feels older than the forest itself. Yudlo, the local guide, whispers earning, rune singers. They sing the Kalevala, the songs of creation, of heroes, of the world's birth. This knowledge passes from elder to elder, never written, only sung. The villagers gathered in silence, some weeping openly. The singer's voice rise and fall like waves, the telling of Wainamoinen, the eternal sage, of Ilmarinen, who forged the heavens, of the Sampo, the magical artifact that brought prosperity to all. I have my own songs, perhaps we can exchange traditions? Cultural exchange. Alright. Share a ballad hail from my homeland. The rude singers listen with genuine interest. When I finish, they give you a short blessing song in return. Music bridges all that divides. Karelian band and the High Chief. We'd like you for to be the guest of honor. Supply tent. Quartermaster. Since I'm a bit of a frequent traveler, it would make sense to get one of these. That's kinda nice, but we should consider getting a supply tent the next time, where we save our funds. Gather around fire, share stories, share drinks, track useful strangers. We do that in the third time. I still wish to befriend my good physician, so I could stop swaying him. Oh, you want to join? Ah. Because he considers the beneath me. Right click to clear it. Well, anyways, even if you don't have to come, I care more about him. The culture of Saliness is unfamiliar to me. Some of their customs equally alien. This is proved especially true when Balthazar, acting as our cook of the evening, beckons me over to stew about. It's a local recipe, he begins. Supposedly authentically Karelian. I was assured by a passing merchant. I look at the substance with suspicion. Is that stewed ermine with turnips? Blended with the herbs from Norse cuisine. Gain free provisions. Expanded culinary horizons for 15 years. Increased capacity, gain, new taste for everybody. Alright, let the revelry begin. The revelry rolls on, but I have this feeling somewhat introspective. This truly reminds me of my childhood, he looks at me. So much mischief revelry. I can recall 100 nights of such roguery right now. He looks at me. How about you? Do you have any tales when you were a young lad? Just this once. I'd rather hear more of yours. Just to complete that intent. Now switch to fireside chats. Gather around the fire. Share stories. Share drink. Attract useful strangers. I could finally stop swaying you. At least you're beginning to look at me a little highly now. So I don't know why we have you around. As much as I would like to dismiss you, but that'll cost me a tiny bit of prestige. But we all must stick together. Maybe one day you'll be better at your craft. I'm so deep into conversations that I barely notice the lack of light. It's only when I have trouble identifying a new convert to the chat that I spared look at the fire. Its embers go dully, almost spent. Everyone shakes his head. It's a quick scan into camp. We use lashes of firewood. Need to get some more. He hops to his feet, snatching up an axe from nearby and raising an eyebrow at me. It's alright. Give that here. 99% chance of failing goes according to plan. Stage Warmer content for a year. Provisions. Yep. A hook. A single laugh breaks the gloom of night, and then another. And I see my stern followers turned into a gaggle of laughing children. What's causing this commotion? Ah, leader Hrolfr, we finally met. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Proke, the Jester Extraordinaire. I once performed for the great High Chieftain Ture of Karelians, and now I offer you the Yuma. Are you good at anything skill-wise? Ah, poet. We might need a poet in our ranks, so welcome. Come on in. For diplomacy schemes, we might need a poet. Our fire sputters, embers not merely glowing where once roared. The revelers likewise begin to drift off towards their sleepy spots. A good time was had by all, but the hours come to call the entertainment done for now. Wonderful revelry it was too. Fireside chat, spring of wisdom. This character learned a lot from the various stories shared by him on the roaring campfire, plus one of all skills. Alright, for the next 10 years. You got anything? No? Try to get... what little we got is good enough in my book. I guess we could do that. Even though it's unjust, but I need money, damn it. I believe we've had that event before, I think, but let me read anyway. The path takes you past a rocky outcrop deep in the Karelian forest, where massive boulders rise from the earth like the bones of giants. Jeremy suddenly starts refusing to go for it. Hissy, he whispers, making a sound of you. A sacred place, of course, depending on who you ask. The old gods dwell here. Some leave offerings for their favor, others say only dark spirits remain. The sea odors of both beliefs. Small offerings of food and cloth hang from the trees, but someone also carved Christian crosses to the bark. The air feels heavy here, watchful. Birds falling sun. So something is watching us. I fear nothing lurks in the trees and shadows. I swagger through this sacred grove, loudly proclaiming language of fear. Nothing tangible to respond to bravado. Adari swears they heard laughter among the stones. Terrible! On the correct path. Poor little gullible Abma. He may be the chieftain, but he's no smarter than the average backwater tavern drunkard, merely richer. An open invitation for noble Charles to stay in his household for a time is all the opportunity to my followers that I need. Before he knows it, a good chieftain's wealth will be in my pocket and will be gone. You know, with a friendly voice and a perfect stranger can go a long way in the crown. Hey, who's to say who knows who? You'll be the shill. Violence, as they say, is a mark of an amateur. The bearded one will be the thief. The thug will be Lulu again. The clueless will be the gabbler. And Muna, you the man. To be the footpad. I helped secure exclusive trade monopolies for open families. Seeing their gratitude, merchants, however, grew angry, as they felt these monopolies were a direct threat to their livelihoods, reducing their ability to compete in the marketplace. On an official trip, I'm passing by one of the villages of my realm. I don't by realm you mean where we're operating in. As I leave the borders of the village, I see something odd about a bush. To get my entourage to go to investigate. To my shock, it is the corpse of a haggard-looking old man in rags. I demand an explanation of villagers who say it was a local town beggar just passed away. Please dispose of the corpse, will you? It's unclean. It's what an arrogant character like him would say. It's gonna be a while. But it'll be success nonetheless. So take your time while I look around. We gotta leave Karelia. Go to Norway. Our eventual goal is to rob Chetanama as much wealth as we can trick him into giving us. Till then, the better he thinks of us, the greater our eventual chances. This doesn't require anything too blatant. Some heartfelt compliments, well-placed laughter, the odd suitably shocked gas, just enough to make Alma feel powerful around us. A little social compliment, nerd. Spend your prestige. Bill. Thank you. Not quite nice. Two, one. Yeah, supply tent is what we need. That's for hostile scheme. That's the size of Mennonite's regiment. Having a quartermaster would be good. If I have a lot more provisions, that means I can travel far away places without worry. That's something that we've been trying to. Get to work. Not yet. Cousin brought my word Balder to the market today. Ah, yes. The ill blind child. Balder hands it off to the poor needy, learning about charity and rulers plentiness, which refused to give a single coin to anyone, gossip claims. Everyone we met were either undeserving or beneath him. In the end, he kept the gold. He's developed an egotistical streak. You always must consider your choices carefully, constantly. Alright, let's do it. What lovely gifts, I guess, when he's in the mood. Very worthwhile return on my time. The study perhaps not his. Ah, well, can't be helped. Fooling his money and all that. Of course, I'll figure it out shortly. Or someone will manage to explain what's happened to the good chieftain, but it doesn't matter. We get ours or we are, or David. Okay, it actually went up because you're arrogant, Jess. So this is not what you wanted to do. It's trickery. That's associated with Loki, one would think. Hey, provisions for the would not accept this. Huh. Okay, never mind then. Nope. No reason to be here anymore. Let's head to Norway. Starting with there. Rather travel by sea. It's much safer. There was a battle there, okay. Yeah, hold that thought. I want you to make a stop here, then, even though you are banned from entering that country. We'll just head to there. And once you land there, and then you'll be there. Okay? Ready? It doesn't take as much provisions as you would think. Plus, it's easier to go through Lake Ladoga into Gulf of Finland and all that. So, let's get moving. I've heard that Finnish fishermen are famed the world over for their ability to strip the ocean of its most bountiful and delicious plunder. Today, by the shores of an island, I'm fortunate enough to come across a Finnish fishing fleet. Our entourage sails close to the stream of the fleet and greeted by the pungent odor of its captain. I don't know, my lord. Can I interest your finest catches of the day? Not today, I say. Ah, Sarama. One of the maps I played in Project Reality. One of those games I played that you see on my YouTube channel. I sit by the knot of tracker tents, letting sounds and smells of the camp watch over me. It's different from the life within the safe walls of the palace. So very different. The freedom's easy to enjoy, no obligations, no counselors yapping, no dignitaries entertained, none of the downsides of trappers of power. Yet these freedoms are dearly purchased, constant scramble for survival wears thin. Increasingly, every night I yearn for a proper bed. Best keep my options open. Also the best stock up for whatever lies ahead. More free provisions on the road. Or at sea, for that matter. I convinced nobles to provide patronage to local monasteries, boosting the clergy's wealth and influence. The clergy, however, soon became resentful, feeling that this charity came with strings attached, turning the monasteries to tools of the noble agenda. Last year I led the construction of new shelters. The effort was worth it. The followers are now sleeping soundly in safer, warmer homes. The morale is high and we could focus better on the challenges ahead. Finally, some good news. We're going to be landing to Arkona, the battle site of Arkona. Battle of Rana site. Slope. Oh yeah, so Snaked Eye still runs things, but remember, I'm banned from entering the country, but that doesn't mean I can still travel through here. Oh, you're the skilled healer. As I get up early in the morning, I cannot help but letting out a loud yawn. Stretching as I make my way out of the tent to see that people are already moving about. I noticed, while we're heading off what looks like a makeshift fishing rod through all the noise and bustle of camp. We're out to ask him. He responds with a nonchalant shrug. It's a nice day for fishing. Let us rest here for a couple days then. At first, a few gaunt Norse peasants we see, and they appear at a distance or picking around. Just to see the little features of their terrain. Thing is, we notice them. Hours pass. The skittish locals eyeing us from afar all the while. They just seem to have finally backed off. The cry goes up. A frenzy horde surges at us from the cover of a ridge. Wild-eyed and emaciated. They all look fragile. The early stage of starvation, no doubt. But not so weak that they could not rob of many of our positions before being driven off. Oh, hell. If they want provisions, they must pay. Healthy profit. Ha! Made a fortune. We pass through this area that contains the great hidden hall. A grandiose mead hall constructed by the kings of old with old trees and magnificent sculptures. Sagas are sure to be inspired by the tales of the great heroes and kings who died and fought in this hall. Passing through my rival's territory. I didn't see any contracts pop up during our way, but hopefully they'll pop up once we arrive here. We're here. Not a contract in sight except those way down there. Anything offer? Martial duties. Excellent. Oh, clumsy me. Alright. Got one right here. Wait for it. 2, 1. Okay. Supply tent. Let me have a look at it. Chief Forager. An armor. An armor would be good to have because, again, there's some artifacts I wish to get rid of. It says, you have no armor. You can't get rid of any of these unless you have an armor with you. If you found more useless crap on the road, instead of just selling them. And if you upgrade, there's room for more. Get me an armor. Let me see those men of yours. This 70-year-old man? Teach a forest fighter. He couldn't keep up. Cautious leader. Learns on the spot. Alright. Job well done. Well, no reason to be here anymore. Let's keep moving. You wish to be a quartermaster? You know what, just bring him in for once. I mean, to have a quartermaster around. That's just increased provisions for all, and subsequently reducing provisions lost. Matters little, but everything would do. Magnus, who's here? He could be the veteran. Anything new? It's besieged. Okay, don't go there then. Ongoing siege. Huh. Increased my intrigue. And despite of Kang's warnings, the humans made a fire in the growing darkness. The animals fled to the hills. I know this one. Intrigue up. A contract. Okay, give me it. Stand with us. Oh, no. Huh. We don't have that kind of ability to do so. It's a mercenary contract. Look, we have enough room to create men-at-arms regiments, which I'd rather take it of the Norse variety, but we're not ready for that kind of life yet. But it'll happen one day. But until then, we'll just keep moving on. The roar of the water fills the air as I approach a series of cascading waterfalls where the river tumbles down on the mountains. Silver flashes catch your eye. Salmon, dozens of them, hurling themselves against the current in their desperate journey upstream to spawn. Some succeed, leaping impossibly high to clear the falls. Others are dashed back to the torrent, only to try again. Trickery points excitedly at the massive salmon that just cleared the highest cascade. Local fishermen have gathered at the base of the falls, spears and nets ready, taking advantage of this annual bounty. One weathered old fisher, Northernmost, offers to share the spot, perhaps teach their techniques. I don't need to pay. I've hunted bigger prey than fish. Watch and learn. My hunting instincts serve you well. Read the water, anticipate the sound, splash, strike with practice precision. 3 fish in quick succession earned you the fisherman's respect. Master at work. The clerk has meticulously documented all resources and supplies, ensuring that nothing is wasted. Thanks to their diligence, the camp is running efficiently, and we avoided shortages. Anycon? You know what? Sit tight. Don't go anywhere. Wait a month. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, no. University. I do have good learning, but who's got time for that? You know how much that costs? To simply go over there, and if you want to go all the way, look how much that costs. It's not worth it. Pate, you are a master administrator. At least she ought to be good for something. Say, would you like to be the head porter? No, you're not good at that either, because the martial skill and the stewardship needs a lot more. And something else is missing. He's just more of a man of the military anyhow. Go visit the elder. Okay. No new contracts to speak of. It's a waste of time. Move up. Just give me whatever dangers out there. I'm ready for a challenge. The arm of the fjord curves southward in here, sheltered from the worst of the northern winds. Something unexpected flourishes. Apple trees heavy with fruit, cherry blossoms in spring, even apricots ripening in the summer sun. In a land of rock and ice, something is coaxed forth for garden. Never the orchard's keeper watches with your astonishment with quiet pride. The water keeps us warm, he explains. The mountains block the wind. My family tended these trees for 5 generations. They know our hands now. The scent of the ripe fruit fills the air. In progress against the backdrop of snow-capped peaks. Birds sing in branches that should not exist this far north. Feels like stepping to a fairy tale. A marvel. How do you achieve such growth in this climate? Whatever explains the microclimate. How the fjord water stores the summer heat. How the mountains create shelter. How careful pruning and soil enrichment corks for fruit. It's generations of accumulated wisdom, freely shared with an appreciative listener. Starts moving again and he joins us. Okay, that's it. I'm giving up on trying to find any good headquarters. So we're bringing you in. Powerful adventure, she says, and a resourceful tribeswoman that negates her penalties. Perhaps with time, she'll improve. And please remember, we're gonna get an armorer soon. So we have to look for a talented armorer then. Please wait until the month of May. Big provisions! And just tell me a little thing. Ah, that's what I was wanting to do next. Camp Revelry. If we can get a guest of honor over here. No. But we can do this. Exchange provision bonuses may attract wanderers to Revelry. Boosted corrosive progress. Drink sting is unnecessary for me. Willing to throw it in. Have fireside chat. Let's begin. Alright, you get to pick up carousing at the start. You may get better chances of this. And then, they just gesticulates wildly as he weaves a story that by now has been quite a long time in the making. It tumbled like a sack of bricks, hit him round the head, it did. There's folks in the acclaim of the gathering was satisfied so. It was quite a daring do, indeed. Sort of cover he still seemed part of the cog, trying to cudgel another story from his lips. What was it you hit him with again? Perhaps we could read it with enough scrap wood and metal. I gain a makeshift mace artifact. Oh wow, a heavily improvised mace, made to a tail's specification. Its effectiveness is undeniable as its roughness. The lessons learned from making are sure to lead greater savings of future. Tiny bit of monthly prestige reduction, but reduces men-at-arms maintenance and mercenary hire cost. Okay, that's useful. Trade the old fishing knife to an improvised mace. Described like the tale says. Passionate speech. Ah, my Lord Kraka approaches comprehensively. I don't know where Oleg is. It's been quite some time. It has been quite some time since I last saw Oleg. The skies, meanwhile, darken honestly as dusk draws near. Where's he drifted off to? What does Oleg think of me? The stooge? Grab a torch, start like a Dogadovar. He wanders back in with some berries he found. Shared drinks. Never back down. I'm so deep into conversation I barely notice lack of light. It's only when I have trouble identifying a newcomer to the chat. This is really good fun. Members go dully, almost spent. Oh, that didn't shake his head at my quick scan of the camp. We've used last of the firewood. Need to get some more. Hops to his seat, snatching up an axe nearby. I did this thing, but here's this. Wait, we have those old barrels and crates. There's a 25% chance I may pick up Shrewd and use up the provisions. I disprove sounds I did pick up Shrewd. Life's taught already. Value of good judgment and sharp wit. Excellent. He's an excellent all-rounder now. Say the travels build character. The fire sputters, its embers now merely growing where they once roared. The revelers likewise began to drift off toward their sleeping spots. A good time was had by all, but the hours come to call the entertainment done for now. One of revelry was too. Gain a tiny bit of martial lifestyle experience. Gain some provisions. Spring of wisdom. Better recruits from visit travel holding to whatever you may need. But we weren't able to get a new contract. Not out here anyway. We got nothing. Who are you? Someone who's great at learning. If you let me borrow a kiss, I promise to give it right back. Couldn't get her. Oh, you don't do that again until the next 15 years. Well then, keep moving. Private army, there you are. Soggen fjord that stretched for you. A blade of dark water thrusts deep into the heart of Norway. Cliffs rise sheer on either side, so high that the sun only touches the water for a few hours each day. The scale is difficult to comprehend. The fjord is deeper than the mountains are tall. Thogas, the local guide, steers a small boat of practices. The old folks say the sea serpent made this fjord. Marks thrashed its way inland from the ocean. Others say giants carved it with axes. I say it doesn't matter. The fjord is, and we live in it. The waterfalls plunge from impossible heights, just by catching rainbows in the slanting light. Farms cling to the ledges so narrow that scenes painted on the cliffs. This is a landscape that dwarfs humanity. And yet people made homes there for generations. How deep is this water? What might lurk in such darkness? No, consider deeper than any anchor rope. Fishermen sometimes hook things they can't pull up, things they don't want to see. When we throw these hooks back, some questions are better unasked. Peer into the black water, imagine what might peer back. We're walking among the hills late in the day. The darkness comes suddenly, brought by dark clouds above us, then a sudden distant loud rumble of thunder. Soon there's another, combined with a dashing flash of lightning, and another strike, bright illuminating the area. The afterimage burned in my eyes. I could see where the lightning had struck. There's a quickly expanding brush fire and spreading towards us. Put out the fire before it spreads too far. Success. As the camp grows to a few hundred inhabitants, provisions upkeep become more complex. The camp now requires a wider variety of goods. The coordinated acquisition and storage of these provisions presents increasing challenges. Still nothing. Got some. Instructor of Knights, coming up. As we travel through the outskirts of Strawden, we suddenly see a jovial man in the distance, jumping, dancing, singing to himself. He seems like quite the character. Would you like to hear some songs about Odgard, a faint-hearted chieftain? He yells as soon as we get within shouting distance. Before we have time to answer, he starts singing a merry tune about the depravities of chieftain Odgard. Tell me more about him, if any. Doesn't have any. Oh, we forgot to mention. Oh, there's two instructor knights. Last year, I organized the construction of a watchtower to improve our defenses. It has allowed us to detect threats early and ensure the safety of the camp. Now we feel more secure in our position. Let me see, old man. You know what to do. You couldn't keep up? And, we got it. I'll come back to you soon. We got a roaming smithy now. All that. Oh, you're at war then. Give me your provisions now. We do this again, and then you give me more. And there's still more provisions and rewards to go around. The sky darkens of a terrifying speed as a fierce blizzard sweeps in from the sea. For a moment, visibility drops to nothing. You cannot see your own hand before your face. The wind howls like a pack of wolves, driving snow that cuts like tiny knives. The temperature plummets. You could feel the cold seeping through every layer of clothing. Gaeta shouts something, but the words are torn away by the gale. The road vanished beneath the drifts. The deadly white sameness of the storm surrounds you from all sides. Without shelter, you will freeze. The question is whether you can find any before the cold claims you. Dig into the snow. You will sincerely estimate 100% chance of snow cave. You organize a party to dig a shelter in deep drift. The work is exhausting, but the snow cave protects you from the killing wind. Emerge from the cold but alive when the storm passes. Jeez. Terrible armor. Yet the road uses bad swagger. Rocks. Good on him. Let's do it again. He learns. And, well, it's a success regardless, but maybe I could take that person in. Hey, you want to join up? Sign right here. Do you have what it takes to be the armorer? Actually, we do have good qualified people. Oh, except one's a head Courtier is a paymaster. We can't have someone who's already taken a job. Again! More instructor knights. The processions ground to halt a stone's throw away from stone. I look over to see my father holding on a dismounted and staring at something on the ground. The other entourage members are gathered around. Mother looks up approach. Leader, there's an antpath here. I may be a tad superstitious, but you should never cross an antpath. False. My great-grandfather did, and he never returned home. Nonsense, I'll take over as guide. See? It's winter, don't go gathering provisions. We could use for another upgrade. Something that we may need in the long run. You already did a request. Here we go again. They're becoming fast friends already up there. Alright, the pay of food and clothes will bring you in. I didn't want to bring a terrible person over. Not the best collection of people here. But I simply needed an armorer so I can destroy artifacts if need be. Say what? No. Treasure map, dummy. You only gain 1 gold destroying certain artifacts? Ah, oh well. We'll try. Ah, sorry, they're all well trained enough. No more training do you require. Let's move up here. As I take out the treasure map for yet another confused glance, the map catches something on my back with a horrible rip. The map is now shredded right through its middle, a little more than tatters falling earth. I stand shocked, holding the now largely useless pieces in my hands. My employer's not going to like this. Well, ever since I got kicked out of Denmark, that's why I couldn't wasn't able to do that treasure hunt thing. So not all is lost, as one must think. The Paymaster's clever handling of trade and resource management resulted in a notable increase in the camp's revenue. With an extra income, you can invest in improvements to the camp's infrastructure and security. What qualifies to be a good mistress? Is it intrigue related? Intrigue and some of all skills. We need to go find an intriguing woman somewhere around here. Speaking of women, even if you're at an advanced stage, you still make a fine mistress, so I may see potential in that, but tell me a story. Got this? Anything? Learning transfer. Ah, here we go. We got 2. A golden gift. Escort emissary. Start with this. You know what to do. Let's move out. Word of your arrival has reached a local chieftain, and Norse hospitality demands you to be honored at the feast. The great hall blazes with firelight, the air thick with smoke and the smell of roasting meat. Drinking horns that seem bottomless are thrust into the hands as soon as they are empty. The Dronda people proved themselves masters of celebration. Hola, your host raises his horn into a toast. To our guests, may their enemies drown in their own blood. May their children be numerous as the stars. The crowd roars their approval and drinks to you. Not color looking unsteady, and the night is young. As much as I would like to get that drinking horn, but I say, I challenge your champion to an arm wrestling contest. 100% chance of a mighty arm. Local champion's a mountain of a man, but I plant my elbow and refuse to yield. Slowly, impossibly, forces his arm down. The hall erupts in cheers, gaining that foot experience up till we get to this. Yes. Here you go, Pam. Check your camp, followers. Anybody with negative opinion? Just a courtier, just a courtier. Okay. As we pass through the market of Dunham, we hear a loud yell and stumble to an ongoing tussle between 2 men. It's hardly observed by a group of people. The crowd cheers profusely as one of them soars to his feet. Face finds someone here, thus concluding the match. Who's next? The man yells to the crowd. The men took up at my side. Ipate responds to the challenge. Son of wolves, are you mad? I'll do it. I lose. How's your skills as a physician? It hasn't improved. I'm disappointed. On fast the armorers, as was a sigh. I read about these ruins beforehand. Here they are, I suppose. We stopped to camp for the night by some large ruins. Perhaps it was a fortress or a sizable temple built by the ancients. Nothing huge, but nothing to scoff at either. I read about these ruins in a book, Fast claims. There was once a magnificent capital here, ages ago. The ruins. Supposedly stretched for miles, sounded so inspiring, yet this is it. You can't trust everything you read these days. These ruins, there's more to them at a first glance. Here comes my friend. The Frostating Assembly? You arrive at the Frostating, I don't know if that's correct pronunciation, the great regional assembly of the people of Trondheim, gathered to make law, settle disputes, and affirm their ancient rights. The assembly feels crowded with free men from across the region. Farmers, fishermen, merchants, and warriors all come to have their voices heard. The law speaker, Hrolfr, stands upon the law rock, reciting from memory of the complex web of Norse law that binds the society together. Chieftains debate, deals are struck, and the fate of the region is defined not by kings alone, but by the free voice of the people. There watches the fascination. Such governance is rare in many lands. I have a dispute of my own to bring before the assembly. 85% chance success, 15% chance fail. Justice, sir. I present the grievance, real or invented. I argue the case before the assembly. My eloquence impresses the judges. A favorable ruling is made, whether I had a case less important than the pursuit. Bear with it. Just arrived home now. By home you mean, you know, the other word. No. Gather these provisions. You're the hunter. Go get him. Bingo. Four months left. Can you hold a tournament? You're at war too. Oh well. Give me the provisions and I'll be on my way. You who are stout and watchful, an important convoy is about to depart to Compatibility. The chieftain offers a hefty reward for anyone willing to protect him on its way. The delegation from Chief Hrolfr saunters to the flaps of my great tent. Greetings, adventurer. Many are the roads of this world and treacherous. If you work for Egalitarian, my liege would pay well for your expertise. We carry a mighty chest of jewels, perfumes, and precious metals. You are to bear this to Hrolfr and present it with great ceremony to Jarl Bjorn. A most lavish gift, one that will place the Jarl deep in my liege's depth. Must be closely guarded. The camp will be there, because I just wanted to get to some place. Move out. Yeah, that's at war too. There's conflict. There's conflict everywhere. As dusk falls over the mountain valley, my guide Vigfus grows increasingly nervous. Must find shelter before the full dark, he insists. This is troll country. We can't stop here. This is troll country. Hrolfr scoffs, but the locals clearly believe. They point to strange rock formations along the ridge. The hunched shapes that could be of figures frozen mid-stride. Trolls caught by sunrise, he explains. They turn to stone in the daylight, but at night, as if on cue, a distant rumble echoes across the valley. Rockfall? Thunder? Or something stirring the darkness. Locals make warning signs and hurry toward a farmstead whose windows glow welcoming firelight. A troll hunt? Now that would make a tale worth it. 100% chance of the hunt. I venture to darkness, armed and alert. Tracking something. Broken branches, disturbing stones, smell like old caves. Find nothing conclusive, but the hunt itself is thrilling. I return at dawn with stories I'll go into telling. We stop at the town of Ann for a quick rest. The town is known locally for its amenities and being a center of leisure. and several of the guards in my entourage got distracted by a party. Distracted by pretty local Norse girls. We need to go soon. Sure, it'd be a better idea to rest some more. We won't waste time on these frivolities. We got a contract to complete. A Frozo runestone. On the island of Hrolfr, sacred heart of Jantland, a party comes upon a remarkable sight. A great standing stone beside the ancient bridge. Its surface carved with serpentine ruins, twists around the rock like a dragon coiling upon itself. Owen dismounts and examines it more closely. This is the Hrolfr stone, local priest theory explains. Project from a nearby church. It commemorates the Christianization of Jantland. A man named Osmante, son of Godvasta, had raised this building after building the bridge and bringing the true faith to these wild lands. The ruins are beautiful in their craftsmanship, but the stone itself seemed older than Christianity. A pagan monument, their purpose for a new god. Beneath the cross carved at the top, you could still make out traces of older symbols, not quite erased by time. Some say also to destroy the great pagan temple that stood on this very spot, she adds. The old gods do not depart willingly. One second, where are we at this point? Go more towards learning. Let off and study the descriptions in detail. He teaches each rune of her fingers, translating the Old Norse aloud. The inscription tells the bridge building and faith, but also my companion knows subtler details, the unusual letter forms, hints of an earlier carving beneath. Fascinating plebs set to belief. Noble Jarlbjorn of Yamantland. I forgot. This chest teems with gold, silver, and gems. Select the free of the vast treasury of Hrolfr. Jarlbjorn leaps from his throne. Praise Odin, praise Hrolfr. Feels no such generosity. My thanks, traveler. You are most welcome here in Yamtaland, if there be stray coins laying about your tent. Fight corruption. Golden gift. Oh, we get to do this. Oh, there's a bunch of good ones. Alright. Oh. You're the chief of Ungamanland and you want me to deliver right here? Oh. We can do it right here. One day later. Here's some more. Ha ha ha. Diplomacy scheme. Ugh. No. No tournament. No tournament. Okay. I want you to wait for a while. For the baggage train to be complete. It's no secret that Finland is perhaps not the best second to have. Discontent with the state of affairs has finally bubbled over enough that 3 candidates stepped forward to offer themselves for the role. Not about it, who offers to swear himself to me to his dying breath, my friend. Edward, who seems to be about ready to work himself to stupefy. And of course, Hrolfr, not down to the best qualified candidate for the role. Oh, you have leprosy. Well, for now, I'm going to use your skills. Today, a thought occurred to me. What if I could truly read the minds? There are plenty of legends around the world, even in Norse folklore, about powerful persons with great spiritual and mental abilities who could read minds. What if I could do that too? What would I use such powers for? want to hear other people's inane thoughts. I arranged for nobles to publicly endorse certain individuals for positions of influence. The commoners were upset, seeing this as further proof of power and opportunity that were reserved for the privileged few rather than those who are truly deserving. Hey, before this, adopt a dog. That's why we can get good porters. Cheaper to use gold to manually reinforce. To be ready for future, whenever I start bringing men at arms. And perhaps change the camp a tent. I want to go visit here. No, other way. The mountain path winds upward to Hrolfr's highlands. Heading toward the distant Nidars where St. Olaf's bones rest in glory. Already joined a stream of pilgrims, merchants, farmers, penitents, and the devout, all making the sacred journey. The weathered pilgrim leaned on. I'll get a false step behind you. Staff in hand and scalloped shell pinned to a threadbare cloak. Blessings upon your journey, noble traveler, he says. Do you seek the saint's intercession or merely safe passage through these mountains? Path is difficult but well trodden. Crosses mark the way it enters. Small shrines offer rest points. The air is thin here, and the peaks gleam white with eternal snow. Many will walk this path before you, and many will walk it after. You're now part of something larger than yourself. Let's take both plastic patches. Will you share your story? Olga shares a story. A sickness survived, a vow made, a journey begun. Simplicity and sincerity of the faith is touching. By the end of the telling, I feel lighter as if some of his devotion is rubbed off on you. White Death on Dover. Hey, I know that area. It's one of the maps in Project Reality. Dover. It's one of those places around here. It's not there exactly, but I think, when I recall somewhere. Or is that Dodgefell? I mean, I'll know somewhere. But anyways, blizzard strikes without warning at Dorvavel Plateau. Dorvavel. That's the one. That's the area. Look where I'm pointing. That's a map in Project Reality. Over. Well, at one moment I could see the path ahead. The next, the world dissolves itself into howling white chaos. Snow dries horizontally, stinging exposed skin like needles of ice. It tried to shout something, but the wind tears words away. You can barely see your own hand before your face. The temperature plummets, and you feel cold beginning to seep through your furs, searching for flesh to claim. Somewhere ahead you think there should be a mountain hut for travelers, but in this whiteout you can walk in circles until you freeze. Locals say Dovervale has claimed many lives this way. Travelers found in spring near paces from safety. I survived worse. Follow my lead. Step where I step. 100% chance. Pathfinder. I read the wind. I feel the subtle changes in the terrain underfoot. The sense of direction of the slope. Experience guides me through, and I lead a shivering party shot before anyone succumbs to the cold. The road to Nidaros. The mountain path is worn smooth by countless feet. Pilgrims bound to Nidaros and the shrine of Saint Olaf. I encountered a group of them resting by the stream. A mix of peasants, some merchants seeking officers for sharp dealing, and a noble woman in surprisingly humble garb. Among the travel-worn cleric leading the group rises to greet. Fellow travelers, you will welcome us to the holy city. There are sacred numbers on these mountain roads, and a company of faithful lights any burden. The pilgrims are my party of a mixture of hope and weariness. Bandits sometimes pose as travelers on this road, but so they're genuine seekers of grace. Tell me, Saint Olaf, what brings so many to his shrine? Tales of Holy King. Eagerly recounts the life of Olaf Hrolfr, a Viking raider turned Christian king, martyred at Strikastad, whose body remains miraculously uncorrupted. These stories blend history of legend, and learn much about how faith took root in these Northern lands. After a long and arduous journey among the snowy mountain peaks, I slowly warmed myself next to the roaring fire in the local inn, while Ihar and Oleg tended to the caravan outside. Suddenly, there's a distant yet powerful deep reverberating thud. I have a lance, someone yells, before anyone inside gets a chance to react. The sound gets louder and louder until it crescendos a great force shaking the walls and the floor. After a heartbeat of eternity, there's even more dreadful silence. Hold on, help is coming. With people buried under snow, speed is paramount. Lose stress because you're brave. 99% chance that rescue them. Prompt avalanche rescue. We're good. Alright. It's 2 hard muscles. Okay. Tell you what. One more travel, then we'll end the episode here. Though my parents passed away for some time, I still recall a warm, happy memory of them today. Regardless of my feelings about them while they were alive, even after death, my memories of them can bring me joy. But his parents are unknown to us. But he remembers. We don't. So many activities we'll do in the next episode. And in that next episode I want to hunt again, but I want to hunt somewhere out in the open. Like, say... just looking. Just wanted to travel all the way up there before I leave the continent proper. And then we'll go to visit Iceland for a while. And head to Britannia. That's going to be for the next episode. So, we hope people have enjoyed this episode, for there's a lot more traveling to do. And all that. Yeah. And do some more camp revelry. Maybe perhaps still no tournament opportunities. So we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.